Hi everyone, it's Jeff. I got a tripod for my phone to make these videos with instead of stacking it on top of books and boxes and stuff. So we're going to be playing with angles here for the next little while. And maybe going to different rooms in the house, you never know. So if this looks crooked, I can't tell. But don't worry, you don't have vertigo. This could just be my error. I'm still playing around with it, trying to find the right setting. This is going to be one of probably at least 2 or 3 videos that I'm going to make today. Because this is what free time I have on Thursday. I just got back from the store and there's talk of a big winter storm coming this way, and everyone is like panicking and stocking up for like this big disaster thing, and it's only going to be like 6 inches of snow. Maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. But one of my coworkers already called in tomorrow. So guess who has a 12-hour shift? Whatever. This is a spin zone video. And the title of this, besides it being spin zone number, whatever, I think 14, it's records from the back of the crate. This is my, right here as you can see, this is my rolling record crate. See, it says Jeff's Records, it says hands off down here. This was a present from my wife last Easter, I think. Easter or Father's Day? I think it was Easter though. This is where I put all the records that I've bought but haven't had a chance to listen to yet. And as you can see, it's pretty dang full. I have knocked it down a lot. There was a stack on top of this up to about here, but I've worked through those, and now I've just got some space to make here. Because, as I'm sure a lot of you do like I do, you get a lot of records at once, and you don't have time to listen to them all at the same time, obviously, it being a record. Or, I'll show you my new purchase this week. There's only one, and it's because of Andrew again. I watched his grunge video, and he did a needle drop on one of the songs from this album, Super Fuzz Big Muff by Mudhoney. He played a little section of a song called Mud Ride, and it sounded familiar. I know I've heard that somewhere before, and I streamed a lot of this. This is just an EP, actually. It's only like 6 songs, I think, 6 or 8. But, of course, I had to get it. So I did. This is a reissue from Sub Pop. And it comes with a download code, which is cool. And it also comes with a poster. I don't know if the original came with a poster. It's a kind of a small poster, but still pretty cool. And yeah, so to get to my point, thing is, you get a new album, but like I said, you probably don't have time to listen to it right then and there. So you're like, all right, I'll just put it in the crate. Of course, it's too tight for me to fit in here right now. But as time goes by, it slowly gets pushed back by other records that come along until it gets to the very back. So what I did, it's not really a New Year's resolution, but I've decided to start pulling some records from the back of the crate that have been with me for probably almost up to a year, I think. Time is going by so fast. So I got a couple records here in the back that I've listened to over the past week. Like, Europe 72 by the Grateful Dead. This is a triple album. I listened to this about a week ago today, I think. And it's got the crazy kooky artwork. And it all opens out into a big Shadoo, but it's all just blank on the inside. There's just records. And there's some credits there with a lot of ringware. I got this record when I went to Stillwater last July. So, yeah, like I said, it slowly wormed its way back through the crate to the back. And I was looking, trying to make some decisions on what to listen to. And I saw this and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot all about this. So, I put it on. And it's pretty much where I stopped with the Grateful Dead. I've got American Beauty and Working Man's Dead. And this album kind of completes the trifecta for me. It's a good album. I mean, it's live, but most of the crowd noise has been cut out. It's like it's a pretty edited album. Every track as it ends, there's quiet space in between. It doesn't all just flow. So as soon as the audience starts applauding, it cuts out and it goes to the next song. But this is good. I can't say I completely understand the Grateful Dead, like the fervor of the fans, but it's good music. I mean, this is pretty laid back stuff. And it's a well-recorded album. I mean, the sound is really great. This particular copy could be a little quieter, but overall, this was a good listen. A lot of time. I mean, the triple album is a bit of a time commitment, but it's still good. Another one that I saw from the back of the crate is this live Fleetwood Mac album. Fleetwood Mac live at the Capitol Theater, Passaic, New Jersey, October 17th, 1975. I originally saw this on one of David Michaels' videos way back. And of course, me being the Fleetwood Mac fan that I am, and the fact that I was able to find it and get it, made me want to buy it. So this was right, in 75, right when Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks joined. And it's kind of interesting to listen to because they were the big, Fleetwood Mac rock star brand hadn't been fully set yet when this came out. And even some of the songs that are on here, I mean, there's a lot from the self-titled album that probably just came out around this time, like Rhiannon, Landslide, World Turning, I'm So Afraid are on here, and they're good live versions. But there's also some interesting cuts that I don't think I've ever seen live with this group before, like Station Man, which is a track off Kiln House, which is going back a little ways for these guys. Spare Me a Little of Your Love, that was off the Bare Trees album. They do Hypnotized, which was one of the great Bob Welch Fleetwood Mac songs. And it's got that, it doesn't have quite the same metronomic drum sound as the studio track, but they come pretty close. So yeah, being the consummate Fleetwood Mac fan that I am, when I saw David Michael show this in one of his videos and give it a thumbs up, I had to get it too. So this was another back of the crate pick. Okay, what else do we have here? We have another Little Feat album. Feats Don't Fail Me Now. I've got a whole bunch of Little Feat albums that have worked their way to the back of the crate. This was the next one in line, I guess you could say. I think I have everything listed chronologically. So that's kind of how I go by my listening when I have a run of albums by the same artist. And there's really not a whole lot you can say about these albums other than it being, good time party music. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that You know, it's got like a classic 70s party vibe sound to it. And, I mean, there's really no deep musical statements being made here. It's just feel-good music. So, Oh Atlanta is on this one, Spanish Moon, Rock and Roll Doctor. Those are all Little Feat classics. So, yeah, this was a fun little listen. And a quick album, too. This one didn't seem like it was very long, either. And, let me see, what do I have here? Nope. Another one is the Alan Parsons Project, Eye in the Sky. And it's got the shiny, embossed gold eye on it, which is, I guess, the eye in the sky, right? And, of course, no self-respecting Bulls fan can get rid of that image whenever Eye in the Sky does start playing as the introduction for the Chicago Bulls, which was made famous back in the Michael Jordan days. Aside from the title track, which was the big hit off this album, the rest of this album is it's pretty well recorded. I don't really see too many Alan Parsons Project albums on the VC, and I went through a little phase where I picked up some of his albums, and this one kind of got forgotten after a while. So I'm trying not to get all the shine in here. That's a shiny album. There we go. Of course, Alan Parsons was an engineer on Dark Side of the Moon. I think he was an engineer or assistant engineer on the White Album, too. I may have that part wrong. But anyway you slice it, the Alan Parsons Project albums are very well recorded and well produced sonically. He's kind of like Steely Dan that way. Even if you may not necessarily like the song, the sound is very good. Like these are good records almost to test stereo systems on, I would think. You could probably use this, or iRobot, or any of his other albums, to just to stretch the abilities of whatever stereo that you're checking out. But this was a good listen to. I like the Alan Parsons Project, and the song came out in '82, and I listened to it. I don't know if there are any other fans of Alan Parsons out there, but I like him. And last but not least, I didn't get Elton John tickets, like I mentioned in my last video, because the nosebleed seats were going for $250, and that's way too rich for my blood. So, yeah, I had to pass on the tickets. So I consoled myself with listening to Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player, which is his album from 1972. It's a gatefold, as you can see. Big hits off this one are Daniel and Crocodile Rock. But really, the rest of this album is just as good, even though it wasn't a radio hit. Like I said, I think when I talked about Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, this period of Elton's career is pretty stellar. So even the album tracks on his albums, you know, that weren't the radio hits are often just as good, if not better, as the ones that did make the radio. So, yeah, I didn't get tickets, but we'll always have the records, so that's what I did. I listened to this one, which was lurking on the back of my record crate. So there you go. That's going to be it for this one. It's going to be a little bit shorter. This could be a continuing theme. See, now I got some room in here. I could fit more records in. Yeah, right. All right, guys. That's it for now. Take care. And I'll be back shortly with yet another video. Peace.